million cedis between April 22 and May 3 this year. 6 separate Simbox fraud gangs were arrested within the period.
The Simbox fraud operations were uncovered in some parts of Accra. The increase in the arrest of the illegal Simbox operators are as a result of Suba Info Solution Ghana's injection of more machines capable of remotely detecting the illegal activity. Several Simboxing machines, SIM cards and scratch cards belonging to all the networks in the country and other gadgets were seized during the operations. Operators at 3 of the 6 places managed to escape arrest. The successful operations led to the blocking of over $77 million, which could have been lost to the state. The police also expressed regret over how a hotel on the Spintex Road saw nothing wrong with the fraudsters using its room for the illegal operation.
The criminals then specifically instructed the hotel staff that their room should not be opened, let alone be cleaned for no apparent reason. You can all agree that this is puzzling and shocking. I take this opportunity to advise hotel workers and the general public to be security conscious in observing, recording, and to report all such suspicious behaviors to the security agencies.
A director at Suba Info Solution, Redeemer Kwame, is worried.
The activity is illegal, so there definitely has to be arrest. It is against the laws of the state to be involved in Simboxing.
During the process of the media briefing, the Simbox task force returned with yet another arrest from Tesano. 28-year-old Steve Mensah, whose room the gadgets were found, claimed they were set up by a man whose name he could not provide.
Increased selling pressure last week weakened the performance of listed companies on the Ghana Stock Exchange. Shares of produce buying company UT Bank, Aluworks and Itin Drugs suffered a decline in prices, dragging the broader market further down.
The year-to-date loss of GSE Composite Index worsened to 8.33% as compared to the previous week's 6.67% loss. The total market capitalization of the exchange also declined by 0.18% to reflect 54.44 billion cedis. Shares of GCB Bank were the most traded in terms of volume and value, contributing 2.10 million of the total traded shares, representing 78% of the market volume. Goil was the lead gainer for the week, appreciated 2.03% in value, and was followed by Societe Generale appreciating 1.32%.
Recently, they have announced a rights issue, which incidentally went ex-div on Wednesday. So I think investors were trying to get a lot of the shares so that they can qualify to take part in the rights issue that was coming up for the Goil equity. So I think that might have led to the increase in demand, which obviously led to an increase in the price on the market.
Ghana Oil Company has launched its rights issue of almost 140 million new ordinary shares. The managing director of the Ghana Stock Exchange, Kofi Yamua, was impressed with Goil's strong performance on the exchange since its listing.
Goil was listed on the Ghana Stock Exchange in November 2007 at 20 pesos per share. Since its listing, the equity has obtained an 800 group, currently trading at 1.50 pesos. In May 2014, the board of directors approved the proposed rights issue up to 139,639,640 new ordinary shares at an issue price of 1.24 per share. This means every ordinary share registered in the company's register as at April 27 this year will be entitled to 0.5536 new ordinary shares.
I want to urge all shareholders, particularly the retail ones, including myself, to work hard on this rights issue because it has only a 2-week span period, and that they should actually subscribe and take up their shares, because I know that even non-shareholders, retail ones particularly, are very much interested in this rights issue.
A maximum of 155 million cedis is expected to be raised under the offer.
I dare say that gold is already the most vibrant. They've moved for 20% of their market share in the retail business. They are moving fast in aviation, leading the way, and I think their plans for a bitumen plant is also on the way. The progress we've made in deregulation would not have been possible but for the strategic role of gold.
The issue is expected to strengthen the gold's balance sheet, expand its current retail outlets, and finance a 2,000-ton LPG storage at Tema.
Gold is so important in this deregulated environment. If gold is not handled well by Ghanaians, and this industry is taken over, the next generation will not forgive us. So it's our duty, the duty of the Canada. That's our drive in gold. Maybe not everybody will understand it now, because countries help their local companies to grow.
Fully paid new ordinary shares will be listed and traded on the official list of the GSE as from May 31 this year.
All right, so let's go on to the commodities markets now. Find out how the commodities have been faring. And for gold, an ounce, 1,286.59. It's been dropping so far for the past 2 days, if you recognize. It was selling about 1,362 days ago, but we're talking about 1,289. There's been a price drop of $4.96 there. That's what is being sold. The reason is that investors are piling back into gold, and they're coming in droves. Holdings in SPDR gold shares, for example, the world's largest exchange traded fund backed by gold, surged 20.8 metric tons. So that's what's happening on the world market with that. You've got cocoa as well, 3,209. There's been a price drop of about $12, but not too much of a worry because it still ranges quite well for. If you look at the coffee farmers as well, a grower should be happy. That's $119.25. That's what it's selling for. But look at for cotton, 62.84 is what is being sold on the world market. Price drop of about 1.53. There's been a decline though, but there's been a lot of activity on the crude oil side. The barrel of crude oil has been dropping so far since Friday, $47. Now we're talking about 45.04, beating down that expectation by the World Bank, for example, that projected that it's going to be selling at $50 a barrel by the close of the week. That's not going to happen because oil prices are falling as much as 3% for a second straight day and retreating swiftly from the year's highs that hit last week. Iraq, for example, said its oil shipments averaged 3.64 barrels, and the same can be said of Iraq as well, and Saudi Arabia, hinging around 10.15 million barrels per day. So that's what's happening there. Prices are still going to fall if there's no freeze in production of the oil producing exporting countries, that's the OPEC. We'll keep an eye on that. 4% is what we're told has been an increase in the price of petroleum products, but that's it for the business news this evening.